Hey there. I was having a intra-social conversation about a healing process, really, which is why I'm making a broadcast. A quiet little broadcast. It's quite cold. It is Dunedin. I'm all rugged up and I've got a hottie on my neck. When one sort of appreciates the frameworks of our own ailments and the broader implications of where, the body politic is at, I think is what it's called, the body politic. But really it's more like cells, and it goes all the way to a sort of civilizational understanding. But it's internal, it's self with self, and it's self with world, and it's self with body. And I had some x-rays today. I had quite a nice day. I mean, I'm on a healing path with really sore bits, and they don't seem to shift. And I think I've worked it out that it's the left side, and that's what they call the feminized and feminine side. And I think I've also worked out that it's old trauma resurfacing as a physical injury through, well, I don't know, through being a bit gung-ho, I suppose, but it could be all sorts of things, overuse of art, or overexposure of my heart, or tramping, or but yeah, I've spent thousands on trying to get help, and I'm still doing it. There is a bit of help. The best help I've actually had is the mutual understanding from health professionals that it's real as a injury, and that and the fitness. I started taking some selective supplements. Some of them boost my claim to boost my mitochondria. And mitochondria are those neat wee things you only get from your mum. That are the wee powerhouses in every cell of your body, so they're quite important. And I gotta say, like the dancing I've been doing, the ab workouts, ab back workouts I've been doing, lots of things have changed, and the fasting is also. And I think the body has a kind of deep unconscious sort of ancestral knowledge about how to fix itself and grieve, and I sort of see my whole art career as some kind of displacement of belonging, tribe, family, all of that stuff I talk about a lot of the time. But I'm on day 8 of a fast at the moment, and it's pretty smooth, I've got to say. I brought some chicken soup, good quality chicken soup, when I break my fast. I don't think that'll be tonight. But there's a really nice sort of subtle, sensitive, liminal, fragile, I want to say sacred feeling around this period of the fast at this time. It's a recognition of a sort of version of myself that isn't my mind talking to me. and it's quite lovely. I suppose that means underneath it all I do like myself. But with that comes, quite a sadness as well, eh? Yeah. I personalise the journey, but the reason I speak of it and the reason I show art and the reason why I think it's important is because, we all have pretty similar, when it comes down to it, triggers, damaged families, self-beliefs, and especially here in the West we mentalise things so much. I do. And it's interesting to sort of have this sort of I suppose it's a detox, autophagy, and I seem to be doing it sort of on off, so I've done about 30 days now. But the point is, it's on some level there's an emotional realization or even a psychological one of a version of myself that isn't the story that I keep telling, and it's not relational to anyone else. It's just about like my essential nature, and maybe I'm going to say that's a soul thing. There's a version of me that isn't related to my dad's attitude about himself, or how he treated me, or how he treated my mum, or how my mum treated herself, or how she treated me, and you know what I mean, like the sort of Freudian logic of family. There's a self outside of that construct, and both are true. The furniture. I was listening to Bruce Lipton earlier, and he just confirmed a lot of what I intuitively know. It's not up for debate, really. We get programmed from age 7, and under, up to age 7. That's where a lot of our self-talk comes from. And interestingly enough, I didn't actually know this from listening to Bruce. He's a famous evolutionary biologist. He's a doctor, but and he wrote a famous book called Biology of Belief. And I'm seeing a chiropractor who was trained by him, which is really awesome. So there's lots of little synchronicities today, like I saw a Thai massage place today, and I'm like, oh man, my neck and shoulder are still real sore. And I'm detoxing and fasting, and like, oh man, maybe I should just get that extra, And then I bumped into the Thai masseuse who I usually go to when I can afford it, or when I can afford it. And she's a really nice lady. So I booked a session because I saw her and it was synchronicity. And I realised that hadn't been touched for a really long time. Apart from, the casual pat you might get from seeing an acquaintance. Not that it was, particularly emotional touch or anything. It was just rudimentary mechanical touch, the masseuse, but she's really good. And I like her. Like we're sort of friends. We're sort of client friends. And I asked her about her family a wee bit more, and she's going to Thailand again. Apparently, she's a village girl, and she plants rice when she goes home with her mum, and she sends, half her money back to mum to support her. And I believe it. Mum's 75. She's the product of a Thai truck driver who sowed his seed everywhere. It's just sort of, everyone's got a story, eh? But yeah, it was nice to see a picture of her life in that way, and I got no reason to think she would pull a fib. It could have been a sob story sort of thing, but no, she loves her mum. it's all good. But yeah, she's been supporting her mum her whole life, she claims. It's like, what? Far out, man. Send your kids out there to be slaves. And, I mean, why am I an artist? Like, whose fight did I pick up? This sort of, the outsider gig, or the, refuting the English Empire via the mind control of our country and the English class system and classism and sexism and racism that's here. And I mean that in every angle, because I think we're sexist still in power. But I don't want to go into that area. I'm looking at the sky gently with you. So thoughts like that lying here, day 8, fast. And things are going really well. Things are going really well because maybe I'm getting better, but I've planned a massive trip overseas. I've committed to a healing centre in Peru. Actually, I haven't committed yet, but I'm anticipating committing financially any minute now. And it's a sort of continuation of the sort of inner process that I've always been on, really, but specifically around the midlife resurfacing of identity issues and abuse from childhood and my own scripts, emotionally and mentally. But because we all want to be our best, don't we? I'm probably not doing too badly, really. But yeah, I'm actually quite excited, a little bit scared, and I think I'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. I think it's a really sacred looking place with really high integrity, and I've seen it all. And it is actually, it's not talk therapy around my content, although there is unpacking sessions. It's plant medicine, but it continues the inner dialogue in a shamanic tradition of, spiritual holism, I would call it. Good intent. They have God there. So the ACC processed here really fucked me over, and I realised it was only ever going to do that. There's no help there. I'm not saying some of the people aren't nice, but it's just a funding racket. It's a frontage. What Krishnamurti, what did he say? It's no measure of health to be well adjusted in a profoundly sick society. And I love it when thought leaders say that kind of thing, because a lot of people who I interact with don't actually know that it's a profoundly sick society. Maybe because there is a modicum of social cohesion in New Zealand on the surface, maybe because we're, anyway. But there wouldn't be so many casualties. There wouldn't be so many broken homes if it was working. There wouldn't be so much addiction, depression, suicide, anxiety. There wouldn't be so much medication. There wouldn't be so much toxins. The model, the economic extraction model we live in is, That's global suicide, isn't it? And it profits the very few at the expense of the rest of us. And that expense at the rest of us is actually probably being planned to be the rest of us. You know, the sixth great mass extinction is probably a planned genocide. And I think it's a slow-moving one, but it begins with ideology and belief systems and programming. So I think that art is it's an epigenetic healing self-realization process in the ancient Gnostic tradition. Self-realization, I suppose that makes me a bit of a pilgrim, eh? A privilege and a difficult path as well. I really, really appreciate the support and attention. That's my little sky rant. Thanks for sharing and listening. Bye. I welcome feedback. I have an email. I have a text number. I'm sure you know how to get hold of me. Bye-bye.